Would you be in favor of removing "one nation under God" from the Pledge of Allegiance, and why or why not? I'm a pastor, so I would say it should absolutely be removed. Forcing your religion on someone never leaves a person with a positive feeling towards that religion. If Christians want people to have authentic experiences with their religion, we need to allow for authentic encounters rather than gross forced ones. You end up with Christian nationalism and not Christianity. Besides, early church Christians chose execution rather than pledging allegiance to an empire. And now we're supposedly for it. Some churches do it on the regular? Straight up heresy. Yes, it wasn't there at the start either. Edit. Since people are downvoting greater than on June 14, 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower signed a bill to insert the phrase "under God" into the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance that children recited every morning in school. Previously, the pledge, originally written in 1892, had contained no reference to religion. So yes, you're wrong. It wasn't there. Like it or not, it should not be in the Pledge of Allegiance or on the currency. The Pledge of Allegiance itself concerns me far more than the religious bit. Remove it. First Amendment forbids it. I'd be in favor of removing the entire Pledge of Allegiance. What's a story from your life so outrageous you wouldn't believe it if someone else was telling it? Met a dude on Xbox Live and gamed together for a while. A couple weeks later, I had a party at my apartment and one of my roommates invited a neighbor. I met him and talked for a little before I realized it was that guy the first had been playing Xbox with. It turns out he had lived in the building next door the entire time. Went from Xbox friends to actual friends after that. I was renting an apartment in Sofia, Bulgaria. Next door neighbor was this 20-something guy who blasted house music at all times and had a different girl over every other day, talking to her so loudly, laughing like a jackal. It was getting so bad I could hear his voice in my sleep. So I decided to get a break. Went to Greece for a week. Surprisingly affordable. Now I'm in a small house hotel. Nice room. View of the sea. Suddenly I'm hearing house music from the room next door. What kind of luck is this? I gently ask the two German girls in that room to turn the volume down a little. Then I go out, drink some ouzo, come back, and now I'm hearing my annoying neighbor's jackal laugh from the German girl's room. Am I losing my mind? I know this guy isn't here. No way. Next day again, I hear his voice through the wall. More house music. Day 3. More of his voice. More ouzo for me and thoughts of madness. Day 4, I go over to the German girls just as my neighbor is cackling the loudest. I see his mug on their laptop screen. In Skype. Turns out the girls met him on some dating site a few days back and now he's sharing his favorite tracks with them. I couldn't even be mad. So I brought over a bottle of ouzo and drank it with the girls. And toasted my annoying neighbor in Skype. And listened to his demented house music all evening. Accidentally throwing away $1,000 in New York City. It was in an envelope that my partner unknowingly put in recycling. And then going to the recycling center in Staten Island. Wading through a literal mountain of papers, magazines, cardboard. And actually finding it. It's my best true story. And I don't think most people believe me. When I was visiting Korea, my taxi driver spoke perfect English. Was an escaped convict. And got into a high-speed chase with the cops while he was dropping me off. When the chase started, he ran a stoplight and almost got us hit by a truck. Then sped up over 100 miles per hour swerving through traffic. He actually sorta juked the cops and dropped me off in a random alley about 2 miles away from where I needed to be. I peed myself a little and I was so shaken when he dropped me that could barely walk. By the way, he put me out of the car at like 5 to 10 miles per hour. It was super fast. Turned out one of my classmates who we all thought was a 15-year-old girl was actually a 30-year-old woman. I've had a fire alarm go off whilst in an MRI. Then a CT scan machine and then on a radiotherapy treatment table. All of them require you to be inside the machine strapped in. All took place in different hospitals and it was over the course of a year. What is the best sitcom ever? To the person stating all the sitcoms aren't sitcoms. A sitcom is a serialized comedic program where each episode revolves around a different situation. AKA a situation comedy. Has nothing to do with the number of cameras or who's watching. Night Court. An 80s sitcom that was ahead of its time. Does Futurama count as a sitcom? What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious. Faulty Towers. Not a single weak episode. Not a single flat joke. Not a moment of screen time wasted. The series is a masterclass on how to write and execute a comedy series. MASH. What is your main goal in life? As an older member of General Z, financial stability. I want to live in a comfortable place with enough room to host a D&D game. Get married. And not have to worry about paying the bills. To be happy and to help others be happy. I want to make friends and stop being so lonely. My partner is dying. And I am trying as hard as I can to make sure our time together is full of joy. I am not looking very far beyond this part of life. I don't even know how to think about the future. After beating cancer, I plan on returning to work at the carpet store. What is the saddest song of all time? Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. The original version performed by Judy Garland in the musical Meet Me in St. Louis. It's really a song about making do. Enduring and weathering the bleak misery and loneliness we sometimes face at this time of year. Subsequent versions have revised the lyrics to make it less bitter. But the core of the song still feels incredibly bleak to me. I think the sense of loneliness against the backdrop of what should be the merriest time of year feels especially potent. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Nope. That wasn't a joke. This song makes me cry. Mr. Bojangles. A poor clown who just wanted to make people laugh is now alone. Forgotten. And probably not much longer for the world. And then the narrator recognizes him and begs him to dance one last time. When She Loved Me. Randy Newman, Sarah McLachlan. Nutshell Alice in Chains. Cornell has a lab that has the sounds of pretty much every bird on the planet. They have a recording of a male Kauai-o-o bird singing for the last time. It was the last bird of its species before it goes extinct. It was looking for a female that will never come. Edit. A clip for those curious. https u2.be/track2rx3bv. Who is an example of a child star or celebrity at a young age? Who didn't end up as a psychological disaster? Jodie Foster. Shirley Temple. Ended up a U.S. ambassador. Sean Astin. Ron Howard. Elijah Wood. Considering two of her first major roles were that of a 12-year-old prostitute and a highly sexualized movie about two minors stranded on a deserted island, I was always surprised how normal Brooke Shields turned out to be. What should one do in their 20s to avoid regrets in their 30s and 40s? Take care of your teeth. There is good advice here, so I won't repeat. Have two hobbies. One that is of interest to you and you are happy doing it alone. The other one, try to have it be with other people. Preferably one of them has you getting outdoors often. They can be the same example. Fixing bikes but also going on rides with friends. Photography and birdwatching. Practicing an instrument and being in a band. Have a few close friends but * keep making new ones. I'm all for making your own way. But you'd be shocked to know how many people got to where they are because they knew someone who knew someone. It can only help you, and maybe you can pay it forward down the line. Exercise. Staying in shape is easier than getting in shape. Exercise. I started running when I was 35 and it was life-changing. If I started in my 20s, it would have been even better. Do not try crack. Subscribe, my brothers.